The Memphis Tigers and head coach Penny Hardaway are one of the hottest teams in college basketball as of late, with a 4-0 record against teams in the top 25 and a 9-2 record overall. The Tigers currently sit at number 23 in the AP Top 25 and honestly have already faced the toughest opponents on their schedule. Today, we're going to be taking a look at their wins over Arkansas, Texas A&M, Clemson, and Virginia, as well as their top players and where I think they will end up in March. After starting off the season 4-0, the Memphis Tigers faced the number 20 ranked team in the country, the Arkansas Razorbacks, in the Battle of Atlantis. The Tigers were led by guard David Jones, who had a monster game and started his All-American campaign with 36 points, 5 steals, 4 rebounds, and 2 assists. Jones went 4 for 8 from beyond the arc and was able to get to the rack with ease against a solid Razorbacks defense. He has slowly been climbing up draft boards all across the country, playing at a high level against some of the top teams. Guard Jaquan Walton added to the tally with 11 points, and forward Nick Jordan came off the bench adding 12 points. David Jones spent last season with St. John's and has 2 seasons prior to that with DePaul. Jones averaged 13 last season but had a rough year after losing his father, and honestly, it's been really cool to see Jones playing at such a high level and fitting in so well with the Tigers, and he's going to be a huge contributor come March. Following the significant win over the Razorbacks, the Tigers lost 2 games back-to-back to Villanova and Ole Miss, but those are the only losses on their record so far. After a win over VCU, the Tigers traveled to Texas to face the Aggies. David Jones had another huge game with 29 points, shooting 5 for 9 from 3. Senior guard Jahvon Quinerly also had a great game, adding 24 points, and Caleb Mills dropped 13 in 23 minutes coming off the bench. Jones and Quinerly counted for 53 of 60 points scored by the Tigers starters against the Aggies, which is one of the only things that concerns me a little bit about the Tigers in March. Memphis has a few dogs who come off the bench and really contribute well to the game, such as Caleb Mills, but it'll be interesting to see how high-level teams try to combat the scoring of David Jones and seeing how the starters in the Tigers lineup will have to step up. But so far, it seems like Jones can score against any team in the country. After taking down the Aggies, the Tigers went back home to face an undefeated Clemson Tigers team, which was by far the hardest game going into on their schedule. Jones continued his high level of play with a team-high 22 points, and Jahvon Quinerly built off his momentum in the Texas A&M game with 17 points in the Clemson game. For Clemson, P.J. Hall had 21 points and Chauncey Wiggins had 19. This was the biggest win Memphis has added to their resume this season, taking down a gritty Clemson team who hadn't lost one yet. Most recently, Memphis took on the number 22 ranked Virginia Cavaliers at home and had a great night defensively. The Tigers forced the Cavaliers to shoot 4 from 19 from 3, only shooting 21% from beyond the arc, even though the Cavaliers usually shoot around 35% on average. David Jones dropped 26 against the Cavaliers, Quinerly added 9 points, and Caleb Mills had 11 coming off the bench for the Tigers. The Memphis Tigers are playing like one of the best teams in the entire country, and if they keep this up, they will be a very scary team coming into the March Madness tournament. The Tigers face Vanderbilt coming up on December 23rd and will hopefully be able to add Kansas State transfer Daquan Tomlin to their roster soon. Comment down below what final record you think the Tigers will finish with comes March and how they will end up doing in the March Madness tournament.